Hi everyone, it's India from lifeisapageturner.com and 90s Born Reader, and today I'm going to try and have a spoiler-free book review and discussion on The Mothers by Brit Bennett for her debut novel. So let's get started. So this is not a spoiler in any way, shape, or form because it happens in the first 2 to 3 pages, but it starts out with our main character, Nadia Turner. She falls in love or falls in like with the pastor's son, Luke Shepherd, gets pregnant, tells Luke. Luke finds a way to come up with the money, and then Nadia goes and has an abortion. Luke never shows up for the abortion, and so she's left there alone by herself, getting rid of the baby that they made together. And so from there, that shapes Nadia's life. On top of that abortion, Nadia just lost her mother. Her mother committed suicide without warning, without a note, without anything. She just one day took the car, went out, and shot herself, and she was gone. There was nothing there. And so this book really starts off with secrets that float through the church called Upper Room, of Nadia having this abortion and leaving the clinic by herself with no Luke. Nadia never asks where the money came from, how he got it so quickly, or anything like that. Of course, we find out later where he got the money from, but she doesn't know. But what she does know is that now she's gonna have fun. She's gonna party. She turns into something different. She tries to find something new, be someone else. So she parties and she parties and she parties and she has fun. She gets through high school. She's ready to go to college. She's ready to leave this small town in California, get away from Upper Room and go be someone different. Until next thing she knows, she ruins her dad's favorite possession, his truck. Mr. Turner always used that truck to help any way he could with Upper Room, with moving for food or moving chairs or setting up anything. It's kind of what helped him after her mom committed suicide, or his wife committed suicide, and it kept him busy and it kept him going. And she got drunk one night, took out the truck, and she wrecked it. And he had to get it fixed, but during that time that he had to wait for it to get it fixed, he wasn't of any help to Upper Room, and they stopped calling, they stopped asking, they stopped seeing how he was. So after that, the pastor comes by and he offers to give Nadia a job in the church with the first lady of the church. And Nadia, against her will, goes. But from there, she meets her soon-to-be best friend, Aubrey. Aubrey has her own story, her own backstory filled with secrets and heartache and heartbreak, and but Nadia and Aubrey are two very different people. Aubrey found herself in the church. Aubrey felt like she was saved by the church from her past, and believes that Jesus and God will help her with her future. While Nadia, on the other hand, knows that her mother loved the church, and she knows that her mother loved her, but she still feels like there's something missing as to why her mother all of a sudden committed suicide and left her by herself with no reason, no answers, no nothing. She just left her. So Nadia is forced working in the church with the Shepherds, and from there, her and Aubrey have a blossoming friendship that the first lady, Mrs. Shepherd, doesn't understand and tries not to let happen, because the Shepherd loves Aubrey for some reason that Nadia can't figure out, but she doesn't really like Nadia that much. Once again, she doesn't know why. She thinks maybe it's because she might know that she had a thing with her son for a little bit, but she doesn't know anything else past that. But after spending a summer working in the church, Nadia leaves. She goes off to college, the University of Michigan, which is far away from California, or far enough, very different weather. and she starts a new life. She finds, you know, a new boyfriend. She still talks to Aubrey, but she never talks to Luke again. But she travels. She works really hard. She pays for everything herself, getting multiple jobs because she knows her father can't really afford it, though he tries to. But Nadia tries to find something other than, you know, throughout herself, and that was really important to her. While Aubrey and Luke are still in Upper Room, still in California, going on about their lives. And next thing everybody knows, the three of them find themselves joined back together again, and they have their own secrets and their own story and their own little three-way story type thing that merges in and out together that they have to deal with. But that's all I'm going to say for that, because any more would be spoilers, and I think that you should read The Mothers because it's a good book. To start my discussion, it's a good one. I'm not gonna say it's great. It's really good. I enjoyed it. You know, I thought it brought up a lot of good topics: abortion, suicide, the church. But I felt like Miss Brit Bennett could have gone a lot deeper into those issues, especially within the Black community. Like, honestly, if you didn't know, if she didn't say that these people were Black in here, or anything like that, like, you wouldn't know we were talking about specifically the Black community, because some of these topics are really deeply ingrained within the Black community, especially the Black church. And so I wish that she had gone a little bit further into these topics and into this discussion, because I feel like that would have made it great. I felt like she just kind of skimmed the surface, you know, maybe kicked up some rocks a little bit, but I didn't feel like she really got deep into these topics in this novel. But throughout the novel, there's this, you know, the overall theme of the mothers. If you don't know much about the Black church, the mothers are oftentimes these little ladies you see sitting in like the front pew or the second pew, you know, somewhere near the front. They've got these beautiful church hats on. They're big, they're colorful. Sometimes they've got flowers and feathers, and they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous hats, and I remember my grandmother used to wear one. But like the church, you know, they either grew up in the church or they grew old in the church, even if it wasn't necessarily their home church their whole entire lives. But, you know, they're the most respected members of the church, you know, other than the pastor and the first lady. They are the respected members of the church. And then, you know, you've got our main characters' mothers, you know, Nadia's mother with her suicide, Luke's mother as the first lady. She has her own story, basically. And then you've got Aubrey's mother, whom we don't see much of, but we hear a lot about Aubrey's past and what she went through and what she has to go, and what she went through and what she has to go through with her mother, and how that affects Aubrey now and today, and how that changed her, and how it should change her. But throughout all these topics, I felt like none of them just went deep enough for me. I wanted to read so much more. It was well written. I enjoyed it, but, you know, it turned into girl goes to high school, girl does something bad, it gets taken care of, she leaves, goes to college, tries to reinvent herself, something happens, she comes back home, falls into her old life, almost like the place stood still, but it didn't. Things changed, and now she has to deal with that. But I feel like she thought the place was just gonna stand still, but it doesn't. A lot of stuff happens, and a lot of stuff changes, and, you know, it just everything is different now, and it's like she has to deal with those changes, and she has to grow up. But other than that, like, other than I wanted it to go deeper, I thought that she did a great job. But please let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I finally finished this book like a month ago. Literally a month ago. But this is my book from the October book of the month subscription. Like, it took me that long to finish it, not because I didn't like it, but because I just had school and other things. But once I finally was able to get into it and read it, it was a lot. I liked it a lot. You know, I thought it was good. I chose it because I wanted to read the book by Brit Bennett, which you can see her picture, if I can get my dust cover back on. You can see her picture here. I chose it because I wanted to support my Black authors, and I thought it was really important to support Black authors as well as all authors, but I think our Black authors need a lot of support as well. And so that's the reason why I chose it. But please, oh, and on top of that, I finally finished my blog post for it, which is up on my blog, which is linked below. You can also find pictures at 90s Born Reader on Instagram and Twitter if you want to talk to me a little bit more, see a little bit more about my life and what I do. You can find me there. And but please tell me what you thought about the book. I really want to know. I want to see, did I miss something? Did I just forget something? Let me know what you thought, because it is Brit Bennett's debut novel. And so I thought she did a really good job. But comment below, try to respond, and maybe we should talk about it. Okay? Until next time, keep turning the pages.
No one can stop me. I get it, it's mine, and nobody like me. I think they just mad